invest time. Yes. This is absolutely delightful. It's one of the things I love most about being on set. We get to just be there to keep you company, to talk you through your day, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're doing. There is that information that we believe will impact your lives, and that is what we are here for on The Baroness. So we simply hope that you are going to just stop whatever you're doing, or possibly multitask, and pay attention to what we have, because it is something that would, dare I say, change your lives.
Yeah, last episode, your sincerely was not on set, but my sisters were on set, and I learned that the focus was on cancer celebration that comes on the 4th of February every year. Of course, is to pay attention to cancer issues, and this year I think the focus has to do with care and prevention. Interestingly, there is prevention, and I'm sure you got to understand certain things that probably you didn't know before, and going forward you will watch out for those signs that could make you take a little more, pay a little more attention to your health, so you don't come down with this. I dare to say it's dreadful. It is still dreadful worldwide. There has not been any cure, at least known to us. If there are researches, they're still ongoing. Nobody, no institution, no hospital, no doctor has come up to say, here is the cure. We only are hearing pockets of information. But in any case, I'm sure the guests did justice to...
They did justice. Alarmingly and shockingly, 2 out of possibly, or dare I say, 8 out of every 10 people currently have cancer. It's no longer a disease that affects just the elderly. So back in the day, people would say you would get a certain age before you could get cancer. But sadly, young people are coming up with cancer. Go to hospitals today, go to houses today, to homes, to villages. A lot of people have just reconciled themselves. They are just waiting for probably God to intervene, or they are seeking alternative care, because hospitals are not even cheap. If you're treating for cancer, it's quite expensive. So I guess we're able to help us understand that even though it might seem dim, even though it might seem difficult, Herculean, cancer is not a death sentence. There are places you could go to seek aid. And then for the government, multinational organizations, international corporations, there's need to invest in cancer, because a lot of people are coming down with cancer, cancers of all sorts. Cancer of the cheeks, cancer of the breast, cancer of men come down with cancer, women, everybody. So it's something that needs proactive effort. It's something that needs collaborative effort in tackling in society.
Yeah.
It was really an interesting discussion. And as per the Baroness, as it's what we always do, we try to bring further updates to talk us through, or bring guests to come and intimate us more on some of these trends in cancer. Yes.
Well, I hope that these organizations that were appealed to will adhere, just like we had interventions in the past on HIV/AIDS when it became a scourge in the country. We hope that these international organizations will come to the aid of people who are living or managing cancer, and try to help people also out, to prevent it even from happening. Well, that is it for last episode. Today is a fresh day. As a parent, there's one nightmare that you have if you have your children in secondary school. Just about the time they're writing, one mother told me that the person writing the exam is different. The one that has tension is different.
True.
The child is in this examination hall. She's the one with the tension at home. Why? Because if he does not get to pass, you know what it means. The child will be devastated. You are thinking about a lot of things beyond just the failing. You are thinking about having to pay again and having to go through the child going through the class and so many things. So we don't like this failure, especially at the end of a 6-year course, of secondary school. So we want our children to pass. But how? People think that you just go to class and come out. But I think we're beginning to understand that there are some things that students need to do, parents need to do, teachers, everybody needs to do to ensure that that single child passes through with flying colors. And there are some people in the studio who will help us to see. They are already making effort to see that they reduce to the barest minimum this tension in the hearts of both the child and the parent, especially, and even the schools, because schools, when children fail, your school could be marked down by the society. So everybody has tension during that time. So, but we have this powerful gentleman in the studio who will do justice to this discussion. How exactly unlocking success in exams? Kerman will introduce our guest.
I'm sure. We have experts in the house today. The first happens to be KOSA Set 86 Group Coordinator, Engineer John Nanfa Garba, Esquire. It's a pleasure to have you on the Baroness, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. He's also accompanied by, also a member of KOSA Set 86, Dr. Amos Josiah Dangut. It's also equally a pleasure to have you on the Baroness, sir.
Okay, that name is Dangut.
Dangut. Did I say Dangut?
No, please, that's not.
Sorry, let me not butcher.
Yes, please.
It's a pleasure to have you on the Baroness, sir.
All right, thank you. I feel great to be with the Baroness and on the Baroness.
Okay, we are going to not be a baronet, but that's something for later onwards.
But your names don't seem to connect with exams.
Is that an official examination name?
Yeah, there's you want to hear, like you want to know the connection between this unlocking success in exam and your names. Engineer Garba.
Yes.
Why are you interested in this?
Well, just like you mentioned, as old students, we're passionate about our school. We're passionate about our alma mater. These are our kids. And we went through that same school, and we know the teachings we got there. So we are just trying to see how we can give back in these days where, just like as you rightly mentioned earlier on, students, sometimes they fail not because they don't know it, but probably they've not gotten the correct guidance. So on our own, we just try to see how we can give back to the school by organizing. Incidentally, this is just the inaugural edition. For new students, for final year students, we want to organize this seminar that will guide them. We're going to have resource persons in most of these core subjects like English and maths, who will guide them on how to answer questions and a whole lot of things. So that is just it, giving back to our alma mater. So that is what informed this.
Okay, you must have noticed, Dr. Dangut, you must have noticed something that was in your day that is not now, to have made you think of something like this. What have you noticed? What is the gap so far?
We actually have noticed quite a lot, and sometimes we are told to take it easy, that times have changed, but we don't believe that times have changed as far as academic pursuits is concerned. Really, in our days, you have the school having sufficient teachers, adequate teaching and learning, the facilities were there. We are well guided to the extent that we had this healthy competition among ourselves, such that when the teacher is delayed coming to class, we get up and start doing things. The library was there. We really took advantage of it. But we have noticed that there seemed to be a decline generally, not only in Science School Kuru, that made us who we are today. So we don't want it to continue to degenerate. And let me just add that this program is targeted at students of SS3 in Government Science School Kuru, but we are opening up doors for people who are outside the gates of Science School Kuru to also participate and also partake of this great opportunity.
Okay. Now, everything you're doing is quite commendable, but one might argue, as per the importance, the relevance of examination in society. You know, a lot of people have come up with different claims. Examination is not the true test of knowledge. They believe that sometimes society might affect how a child performs during examination. There might be pressure, tension, and all that. And even the home situation. Children who probably brought up in homes of abuse might find themselves not performing as they would want to. Now, do you actually think that exams are very, very vital in society, or could there be other ways of testing the knowledge basis of kids?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to bear my thoughts on whether examination is a true test of knowledge acquired. You will realize that even in the early days, our forefathers, they had a form of assessment. When they take the growing up children to the bush, or the mother teaches the daughter how to cook soup, she will say, okay, let me test and see. What's she doing? She's assessing what the girl child has learned. And the same thing with the men. They take them there to teach them, and they have some sets of instruments to find out how they have learned. Now, the same thing happens. The assessment can be in any form. It can be oral, it can be hands-on, it can be on pen and paper, and so forth. So in whatever way, you must have a way to know whether you have imparted knowledge, whether at home in a formal setup or so, whether the learner has actually acquired what you have imparted there. So we cannot just do better assessment without assessment.
Okay.
So what the assessment method now, do you think this examination still reveal the knowledge that has been impacted in the child? Can we still have confidence that this mode of assessment is still valid as of now?
Perfectly, it is. Because when you have a fair examination, fairly conducted, a credible and reliable examination, you can rely 100% on the outcome of the assessment. So it is. Right, unless if people run foul of the rules, which makes it then difficult to really know if you are assessing the what.
Okay. Let's come back to you, Engineer Nanfa.
Yes.
You know, it's all good and well what you're doing as an alma mater. Now, looking beyond probably ensuring that you hold this lecture to impact on students the relevance of examination so they do better. I have mentioned the fact that sometimes students might not do all that well because of factors beyond their control. Now, holistically, are you doing more to ensure that their state of mind, mentally, physically, you know, they say that being healthy is a holistic approach. Mentally, physically, psychologically, are you doing a lot to ensure that everything is all right, so that at the end of the day, it's not just about them writing examinations, that they come out as well-rounded individuals in society?
Well, thank you very much for that. Now, you have to understand from the point we're coming from.
Okay.
As KOSA, we have a limit to what we can do.
Okay.
Yes, we have a limit to what we can do. Apart from this, I can tell you that we do a lot in terms of little infrastructure within the school, you know, having what do you call it? We have their teaching materials. We supply them with from time to time, and other teaching aids. And then in the hostels, we try to do a lot of things in our own little way to make them comfortable, you know. So, but then we know that is not just enough. There's still a lot to be done. And it's a holistic thing. It's part of the things we're looking forward to doing, because we are going to have a convention by April where we are going to elect national officers. We already have a needs assessment of the needs of the school. Just like you said, they need to be comfortable to be able to. I mean, it's the school where we all went to. I can tell you for free, we ate eggs, we were taking tea and bread, yes.
Chicken.
And we eat fried meat.
And Gabza.
Gabza, that one is there.
Are jealous.
Yeah, so, but right now, these days, we understand most of these government schools are not what they are again. This same school, just like my colleague rightly said, we were taught by foreign people. We have whites, Indians, Pakistanis, and the rest teaching us. But today, it's not like that. The funding for the school is no longer what it is. So that is where we try to see how we can come in. And I can tell you, this is the beginning of other things that we intend to do. This one is for the final year students now, but with time, we are trying to see how we can make it a yearly event. And in fact, we are not going to make sure it's going to be final year. It will be maybe SS2 and SS3, because SS2 are about to write exams. So these things you are saying are things that we intend to look into.
Okay.
If the students are comfortable, we know they should be able to do well.
Okay.
Permit me, Kemu. You see, you said earlier on, I can't remember whether it is you or Ben Yit was that said it. It's a collaborative thing. The parents are doing this, the teachers are doing this, government is doing this, NGOs. We belong to NGO as far as we are concerned. So what we are doing is to really help prepare the psychology of the student. Apart from the psychology, we will give them tips on what is expected of them to be at their best, to bring out their best, and to be adequately measured.
It has been said, if there's anything that government schools pride itself with, is the fact that they have the most qualified teachers. Also, we learned, at least government has said that proudly, that they have more qualified teachers. And it's government that pays their salaries. The schools do not pay, whether they are fully funded or not, or funded. The school does not bear the burden of salaries. It is government that pays. So what into your mind could lead to a situation where an organization like yours would have to come in to help children at this particular time with exams? Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Garba.
Now, you have to understand one thing. Times are not as they were before. Like I was saying,
what has changed?
A lot of things have changed.
Okay.
I mean, today, I don't think, back in the days, we all went to that school, public schools. We were there with the kids of the big, everybody. But today, I don't think some of us will agree to send our kids to government schools. That's the unfortunate situation we find ourselves. Lack of funding, like I said, what we used to enjoy in Kuru, yes, the last time, back in the years, 40 years back, was so much. But today, a lot of things have gone wrong. The funding is not there. Even the teachers, I can tell you that what we heard, I don't know whether I should say it on air, some of the teachers, some of the staff there are not even on the payroll of government. So there's really generally a discontent and a lack of, how would I say, a lot of people, the teachers are not motivated enough. We don't even have enough teachers, and the few that are there are not motivated. We did a small analysis of their results some few years from 2020 to 2025, and we found out that they were deficient in a particular subject. And on interacting, with the principal, he will tell you, well, the thing is two-way. The students and the teachers all have something to do with it. So it's a general thing. Government schools, the government these days, I'm sorry to say, have not funded most of these schools very, very well.
It's a concern because when you check out some of the private schools that we have in town, you will realize that some of them don't have as enough teachers as some of the government schools. Enough in the sense of like more qualified teachers as much, because they go for teachers whose salary may not be so high. So they don't go for too qualified. They have few specialized teachers, but not as many as in government schools. Yet they seem to get everything together and teach. You see, we're not discouraging this intervention that you're about to make, but we're talking about sustainability now. How will this gesture be sustained over the years? Or would you not rather look at what is making these things happen, like going down to the roots? How about going down to the root, Dr. Dangut, in the approach to this? Because I know this is a good intervention, it will help. But over time, this is an association with leaders who come and go with different interests and the rest, just like our government. They come and they go. Everybody has his own approach and his policies and whatever his goals are. How would you sustain this gesture? Because I can imagine if it is not sustained, some other students will feel let me say they will feel they were marginalized. Yes, that's the word, marginalized. Some had the privilege, some don't.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm interested in why does it seem that it appears the private schools are doing better. I would want to look at from the aspect of supervision. In those days, when we were in school, the inspectorate arm of government was very, very active. But today, I don't have much to say about that. So I think we really need to look at the supervision by the quality. Today is no more inspectorate division, but they call it quality assurance department. So I think there needs to be a lot there, because when you have people who have mastered the art and are not really doing what they should be doing, then you won't have anything to show forth. I am also aware that the government today is also trying to ensure that only qualified teachers teach in schools, whether public or private. So these things will go a long way. Now, for us as students, former students of Science School Kuru, I agree that it can be just once and for all show and it is gone and that's all. But I don't want to let out much out of the bag. But I can tell you that there is already a foundation that is on ground. We are going to work to collaborate to ensure that it actually comes up on board. Like he said, there is a gap between the adequacy of teachers in the school. The old boys are not sleeping on that. There's a role all old boys and the PTA play in Science School Kuru as well as other schools to ensure that the inadequacies from other sources like the proprietors, which can be private or public, are covered up. So we are not just doing this thing as a one-off thing, but we will also ensure, like I said, this infrastructure is on ground to ensure that it continues.
Okay. Now, Engineer Nanfa, sadly, despite all attempts, efforts, examination malpractice is something that society can't just shake. You try your best, the implementation of rules and regulations, sometimes stiffer penalties are put in place to ensure that those caught are probably dealt with. But despite this effort, it just remains persistent. Now, why is that in your effort? In your point of view?
Well, just as we have in the strata of our society, enforcement, people are caught, but, disciplinary measures are not taken. I understand your point. We normally have, in fact, it's so bad that because of it, all these special centers are so rampant now. And a lot of students, this is something during our days we never knew existed. So it's also shows how, how low we've gotten in terms of exams these days. And most of this private school, I dare say, they encourage that. So I think government can do more in terms of enforcement and, being strict on offenders when they are caught. I mean, examples should be made out of them. I think it will go a long way in sorting this thing out. To add to what he even said about teachers, I remember the inspectorate cadre of schools. I remember back then, even teaching practice, what do you call them? Is it teaching practice? Teachers. When they come to the schools, they will be in class, we will be in class, and then there are inspectors that are sent. They will come and stand in the class. They don't tell them when they are coming. And they grade them. So even when the teachers are in teaching practice, you see that they are being graded. So they are very serious. And I still remember back then, even the teaching practice teachers were very, very good.
Very good.
Yes. But I don't think that is obtainable now in schools. Most of the people teaching, they are just to get a job and survive. Their mind is not really onto what they are doing. They are not really there to impact that knowledge on the students. A lot of societal issues, the pay is so poor, the condition of living. So a lot needs to be done. I think government can do more to assist. Not everybody can afford these private schools. So these government schools can be put back. Government can take concerted efforts to make sure that these schools come back to the way they are. And then we on our own part, like I said, we as old boys, we just do the little we can, and we hope to collaborate more with government to see the need to bring back the schools.
Talking about collaborations, I'd like to talk about the fact that most examinations these days are computer-based. Yes. Technology has so far saturated the society. Now, you are incorporating this training. Let's talk about it going beyond pen and paper. You have to teach them what will help them in the future. But if they're being taught pen and paper, and then the technology aspect is neglected, at the end of the day, it becomes a problem, because statistics have shown that a lot of students fail examinations because they do not know how to assess or use this technology. And usually when it's time to begin, they become confused. The time lapses, they don't do anything. So are you incorporating that in the training, or what you're planning to do?
Well, in fact, now that you said that, we had an ICT training a few days ago in Kuru, sponsored by the Abuja branch of KOSA. Okay. They did an intensive one-day ICT training. The resource person, incidentally, is from our set. Yes, he's an ICT expert. Yes, I agree with you. They go hand in hand. That's why I remember recently, in the recent time back, one of the sets, I think they procured computers for the school. They bought computers for the school. And I think, just like you said, ICT too plays a very vital part. Yes.
This tension, I'm concerned about the tension that comes with examination. How can it be reduced? Now we're talking about, I don't want to, you're here as KOSA, Dr. Dangut, but I know that you are at the helm of affairs of the regulating body of WAEG. How can we reduce this tension going forward? We would thought that assessment, like continuous assessment, building up to WAEG, would reduce the tension instead of having to lump every qualification on WAEG. Is it possible, or it is not educationally attainable or academically attainable like that? You are the experts.
Can you build something out of nothing? When the schools don't have facilities, what are you assessing? There are no teachers, no facilities. So that is the problem. So, but if you build the infrastructure, you have personnel to deliver, then you can actually do that. And what we are doing now is part of it, to prepare the students psychologically and to also give them a real experience of what it takes to write an examination and to pass. So what we're basically doing, and we're advocating that governments and well-meaning individuals should do, is to ensure that they provide the right environment, and that they ensure that the environment is working in terms of both human and material resources. And what we are doing now is part of it. We want to empower them, expose them to what it takes to build their confidence, and then to actually form study groups, ensure that their teachers come to class, because they can actually talk to the principal if the teacher doesn't come to the class. They talk to him and ensure that teaching is done.
Yeah,
and let me just add this.
Right.
You see, there are other avenues through which students and parents and schools can learn. There are online resources. There are hard copy resources. Let me give the example of WAEG. We know that WAEG offers training opportunities for teachers. Some governments in this country have taken that opportunity. They've invited the examining body. They came and trained their teachers on how to deliver, and we saw the results were good. There are other online websites where the students log in, practice, even take a simulated examination. There are hard copies of past questions with their marking schemes, and so on and so forth. The examination body can also be invited to go to a school to teach, to deliver on certain aspects that are critical to that school.
All right. I think you talk some more, because we said our topic today, we're focusing on unlocking success in exams. We will focus on that when we come back. We'd like to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this success that everybody's looking for. 1 or 2 tips will help us even from here. We'll be right back.
So it's good actually that our leaders led in this position, but it's very good. People had to stay from the people, had to take care of the people.
Obviously, we do that because we want to keep.
Okay, you're welcome back. We have been discussing unlocking success in exams with powerful gentlemen in the studio who happen to be members of Kuru Old Students Association, and we are focusing the discussion on their gesture, what they intend to do with their alma mater, or in their alma mater, with the students who are currently studying in that school, especially to help them as they approach WAEC examination. And they have led us into some of the things that they have done and they will do continuously to help the students pass their WAEC, their collaboration with the school and the rest of we were discussing some of these key success success keys, rather, how to get there. One of it he mentioned, one of the guests, Dr. Dangut, mentioned before we went on break, is for students to ensure that their teachers come to class. Students can task the teachers to be to attend, just like their own attendance is taken, they should also take the attendance of teachers to ensure that they are teaching them as at when due, and some other measures. I think we'll continue with that discussion. What are some of these success keys that you would like to see this training cover during the period?
Thank you very much. I would say that I would just want to quickly say that for success to come up, school owners must do their own work.
Okay.
Equip the school with human and material resources. Parents have to also do their own part because the parents should be interested in what the child does. When they come back from school or they come on holiday, you should be interested in what they do. I, for an example, a parent, I have the curriculum, school curriculum, produced by government. I have the examination syllabus, the white examination syllabus. So I monitor what is done in the school. Now coming to the student level, the student, even if the teacher teaches you and the school has everything at your disposal, they can't just put it into your head. You have to be serious-minded. You have to know that success depends on you. You must realize this, create time, study painstakingly, read in between the lines. And you see, when you are reading, you just don't read like a newspaper. There are strategies for you to read and ensure that something remains in your head. And these are part of the things that we are going to give to the students in Science Kukuru and those that will be able to join us online. So we will give out those tips. And like I said, when you are reading in between the line, there are some things that you have to do to ensure that you get the salient points. And then you also need to know what, as examiners, assessors are looking out for. In those days, you will think filling the booklet given to you is the success. It may not be. It may be, it may not be. There are critical things that examiners are looking out for. So you need to know the mind of that examiner and to give him what he wants to see.
Okay, that's part of the training that will be taking place to help the children know these things. So are you giving them the marking scheme so they would see and know what to be, what is expected of them as students as they write their wired? Because if they know the expectation, they will work towards it. Is that what is going to happen?
Yes, you see, in those days, the marking scheme was sacred. Nobody sees it. But the West African Examination Council has realized that it will be needful to let them have both the past question papers and the marking scheme. So they are now available. Like I said, they are already available in compiled form. But this will be dissected, digested in this seminar, this workshop.
Oh, okay. It seems as though you have a lot for us, and I'm sure people are waiting with bated breath to hear more of that. But before we do that, this is the time on the Baroness where our audience can call into the program with questions, observations, whatever you want to say. Just call the number 0703 654-5779. It's on your television set. Please remember that when you call, stick to the point. No need for insults, and then make your point concise. You know, talking about the whole business of examination, it goes beyond just computer-based. It goes beyond writing. There's a practical aspect of examination where students in sciences get to do lab work, those in humanities, those in clothing and textile get to do sewing, those in different aspects in learning. So are you looking at those ventures too, or is it just going to be restricted?
Okay, well, you know, now that you've said textiles and the rest, you know, Government Science School Kuru is a purely science-based school. And yes, of course, we have laboratories for most of the courses. Right?
You know why? I get that it is a science school, but skills seem to move the nation right now.
Yes.
So there are still avenues where these students could also get training and acquisition of knowledge in various skills that they're interested in. That. So is this something that you're looking at?
Well, maybe in the immediate future, yes. But for now, this is the one we are focused on. Yes. like I want to add to what he said when he talked about how students should behave during, what we intend to impact on them. Yes, it's good to study hard, but you have to study smartly. You have to be smart.
Don't just
read. You don't just read just for reading aspect. No. That's why, as part of what we've been doing, we got question and answers for them. Thank God, courtesy of him, which we took to the school for their library. Yes, so that you definitely, as you study a course, you must have an idea of how the questions come. Yes, you see past questions. Thank God they've reduced it to, you see the booklets have the text, the exam question and answers have typical WAEC questions with how they are being answered. So it serves as a guide. Once you do that as a student and you're quite diligent on it, there is no exams that you will face with fear. You already know the topics that normally questions are set. Okay. You go through them, you solve questions on them, familiarize yourself with them. You study smartly, and the sky is the limit. Some of us are giving this because that is what helped us to 40 years back. Yes, study smartly. Yes.
What about cramming? In those days, we had some students that were crammed. Is it still an exam method? Is it a good approach?
You see, before I say that, I remember when I was in Form 5, a few weeks to our examination, somehow I won't have the time to tell you how, but I managed to see the marking scheme of CRK just for a few seconds, and I tell you, it gave me the secret. And today, I still draw on what I saw. So, the other aspect that you mentioned,
I talked about cramming now. Is
cramming
also a way of success?
Cramming, you cannot really do away with cramming. But what is important is when you cram, you need to also understand what you have crammed. It is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some things that you really have to have them the way they are.
They are. You can't change it.
Yes. Okay. But you must make meaning out of what you have crammed.
So cram smartly.
Yeah, that's
right. Talking about cramming and whatnot, let's talk about logically. You've mentioned the fact that you're going to have a training, or are you coining it a seminar? A training, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now, talk us through the logistics of it. But before that, we have a caller. Hello?
Hello?
You're on to the Baroness. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Okay, my name is Mr. Amos.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'm calling from Nanfa. I just want to express my gratitude to my Engr for coming back to educate our parents on how to go about success in examination. And I just pray that the parents are listening, so that at least they will gain from his experience. And I want to tell him congratulations, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your contribution there. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. You've mentioned what you intend to do. You've mentioned the fact that you would also be open to students that are just not only Kuru-based students. How is this going to hold? When and where? And, is there more people need to know about this training you're organizing?
Okay, thank you. We are planning, it's going to start on the 26th of this month, on Thursday. Yes, by 10 a.m. So we're going to have different sessions. We have resource persons pulled from several places. Yes, from the University of Jos and some old KOSA members who are trainers themselves. So we're going to have a session from 10 a.m. It's going to be opened by the Honorable Commissioner for Education. We'll have an hour and a half session taking on mathematics, English language. In between, we're going to have tea breaks. And of course, there will be lunch and dinner for the students.
Okay.
So That will take place
You said starting from 10.
from 10 till 6.
6
Okay.
p.m.
Yes. In between we have breaks. That's on the 26th. Yes.
Is there going to be
And then
registration fee involved?
No registration fee. Then on the 27th, we're still going to have sessions that will start from 9 o'clock and will run right through 6 p.m. where we're going to have the closing.
Okay, so
Yes,
two-day
training.
Wow.
But we are going to have an online link for people. We are going to share the link for people who want to join in. It's not going to be restrictive to only our school. So as many as we want to key into it. Yes.
So SS3
that's quite,
but it's strictly for SS3. Yes, for
that's
now.
quite generous
Let me add this.
Yeah.
There are 1 or 2 schools that have indicated their interest, and we are encouraging them to. If you have some facilities to a projector, you can gather the SS3 in a place, in the hall or wherever, and let them also join us. By the time they link up with us, we will share the timetable. We will adhere strictly to the timetable so that at the specific times they want to join, they can join and benefit from it.
Okay, you know, you talked about the fact that exam success is not one person. It does not rest on one individual. It does not rest only on the school or on the parents or on the child. It's a collaboration. Kuru is a boarding school, and you discover that sometimes when you go to your children's school, then the teacher, when you're checking through and you have an open day or something, you're checking through their books, and then the teacher tells you that your child plays a lot, and he is a boarder. He is under the care of the school. You know, so you wonder, when this thing was told, the question I asked is, where is he playing? Where were they when he was playing? So what have you observed could be one of the things that is affecting these children's concentration, besides the poor funding you talked about, and that is affecting, and how can they help? You know, how can the school help, since that one does not require money? No, it's not money matter. It is about maybe supervision or something. How can they ensure that these children, since they are under the care of the school, at that particular, parents are not there anymore. The parents have talked to them and have sent them to school. How can school now ensure that these children stay focused on their studies?
You see, I would want to come in here. The school system, or schools, are run on curriculum and extracurriculum activities. When you keep both of these aspects of education fully engaged, the student, the young mind, does not want idleness. And you must also do it innovatively. So if you add innovation to curriculum and extracurriculum activities, I can bet you that the children will want to excel. They want to be at their best. So it is now left for the school to really ensure that the aspects of the school, like I said, the curriculum and extracurriculum, are adequately employed. So if it's a boarding school, sometimes they could be taken out of the school environment for a variety, for something that will either relax their mind or also teach them something out of the class.
Okay. Now, Engineer Nanfa, in terms of collaboration, you made mention of being open to collaboration earlier on. Now, what you're doing is quite commendable, but it might be termed a drop in the ocean. There's more that needs to be done. So do you have any appeal to whoever is listening in terms of that?
Especially some other associations like yours, and if they are looking for what to do to their alma mater.
Well, I think, like you said, it's a drop in the ocean, but once we have commitment by a good number of us, like what we are doing now is just set 86. Okay. Now we have, Kuru has sets from 70, even though we could excuse some of those ones, they are our daddies, they are retirees, but we have sets very active on ground. So if we come together, that's why we now have the Plateau chapter open now.
Okay.
So we have, just like we have Plateau chapter of KOSA, we have Abuja, Lagos, Bauchi, Makurdi, and so on. So it's going to be a collaborative effort if all of us come together, and that is what we want to project when we come for our convention. After our convention, all the sets we should just come together and show commitment that this is what we want to do. There are schools in the south, government schools in the southwest, southeast, that have been taken over by the old boys. The old students took over the school from government. I mean, they practically run it. And I don't think it can be taken out from us. We can do such. If we have a good understanding amongst ourselves as KOSA, the whole KOSA, we can approach the state government. We know they are handicapped in one way or the other. We can have an agreement. We can take over the school, or maybe we can come in some percentage basis,
yes,
and then run the school. Feeding and other things is something that is not beyond us. We can do it. It just needs commitment.
Exactly.
So we want to call on all our KOSA sets now, from at least the active sets that are listening. They should key into such a thing, and we will do great things with the school.
Well, that is quite commendable, like Kermel will say. Actually, it is commendable that you will look back and try to see how you can give back to the society that raised you. Very, very important that we do that. But what word would you have, Dr. Dangut, to government? I know KOSA as an association will intervene, but what do you want? One thing that you want government to do? You are playing a complementary role. You're not taking over yet. What can they do to help so that their complementary role will be felt in that school?
You see, the greatest asset of a school is the human resource. So once you have teachers there, permit me to say that they can squeeze water out of the rock. So if you have teachers there, it will go a long way, more so if you complement with the resources, the teaching equipment, aids, all that you need to do a seamless teaching. I don't want to start listing them.
Yeah.
So human and material resources provide to schools.
Okay, this is what government will say: level playing ground for education to thrive. Any word from you, Kermel?
You know, what you're doing is absolutely commendable. And we hope that more alma maters key into such, because at the end of the day, what matters is that students, our children, learn in ways that would impact them positively in society. Remember that we're streaming this program live on PRTVC Live YouTube. So please just go there for our previous episodes. Those who were able to call us, Mr. Amos, thank you for your call. And well, we are unable to receive messages and calls because we are pressed for time. But do stay tuned. There will be, the Baroness will return rather next week.
Yeah, from all of us, make sure that your alma mater matters. So do that, and you make this society a world, worth living for our children and our generation to come. Bye-bye from all of us.
Thank
You fill your mouth with words and words. You twist them well. Oh, yes, I heard. You suits and ties don't cover your light. I see you come. You try. You know me, you say you get the same society. Oh. You know me, you say you get the same philosophy. Oh. You know me, you say you get the same society.